Hi all, today we're talking about boundaries, authenticity and self-love. And in my experience, these three really go well together, especially when it comes to protecting yourself against bad experiences, right? So what did I say? Self-love, boundaries, authenticity. Okay. So the thing with boundaries, I myself am a recovered pleaser, sometimes a recovering pleaser. But when we want love from the outside, when we are looking for approval from the group, due to childhood wounding or just normal social programming, because we are social beings, then sometimes we tend to give up who we are, right? And then we live with this facade where we do things that we don't want to do, and then we become bitter because we feel people are abusing us. But actually we've not learned the word no. And it's very difficult for some of us to use the word no. So when I was in my recovering phase, I used to say, can I get back to you? Can I think about it? Can I get back to you later? That was one of it. And then if I didn't just want to say no, I would say, that doesn't work for me, or that's not going to work for me. But the soft out, can I think about it and get back to you later, that really works. And when do you say no? When it's not 100%, right? In your heart, if you feel confused about a thing, give yourself space to get clarity. And if anyone is pushing you for an answer, then that is a red flag. Also, when we are looking for approval, when we feel that we need the love of society, and if we then change ourselves and live according to what we think they want, even then if they love us, right, we're still alone because they're not loving us, they're loving the facade that we've created. So if you're going to be yourself, if you're going to be authentic, many people will reject you. This is just a fact. But the people that love you will actually love you for who you are. I'm not sure, but I think it was the HeartMath Institute that recently did experiments, and then they looked at the frequency of specific emotions, and everyone thought that love would be the highest frequency, but no, unfiltered, pure, honest authenticity, right? That had the highest frequency. So it's not about what you're being. It's about the fact that you're being purely you with no filters. Now, we've been programmed by society and by childhood wounds to believe that this is not acceptable. And we will even shame people if they're too unique, stop rocking the boat, don't be an outsider. But I absolutely believe that pure authenticity is how we're going to wake up from the matrix, how we're going to wake up from the programming, because by loving ourselves, by loving our deep inner selves and allowing our deep inner light to come to the surface, we will then give other people, they will feel that they can then also do the same, right? So we will give them permission to do the same by doing it in us, and it looks different in everyone. Also, pure authenticity means that if you feel uncomfortable about something, you say that you feel uncomfortable about something. If you don't like something, you say that you don't like it. You're not going to be mean, of course. You're just going to be yourself. And this in itself will keep unintegrated people out of your field, right? Because it's only possible to manipulate a person if they do not know their own self-worth. What's that saying? We only allow people to abuse us as much as we've abused ourselves. And then there's the other one, and I'm sorry for not saying, who coined these. The other one is people can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. So I must warn you that the more authentic you become, the smaller your tribe will become, right? Because most people are not comfortable with this level of honesty and authenticity. The shadow doesn't like the light because the light shines onto the shadow, and then people cannot be manipulative anymore, they cannot hide anymore. We're not hiding behind pleasantries anymore. We're just direct and honest. So it was boundaries, it was authenticity, and then self-love, right? This is the Holy Trinity, I think, of protection. People always talk about protecting their energy, but if you have these three, really have them, right, then no one will be able to hurt you because you love yourself, like Samantha in Sex and the City always used to say, if she broke up with a guy, I love you, but I love me more, right? If you do not love yourself, you will allow people to abuse you because you do not know your own worth. So it is your job to get to know your own worth. It's very, very important for you to do this, actually. And I know easier said than done, right? But if you look at self-confidence, so in Afrikaans it's self-vertroue, self-trust, basically, right? So you can have confidence in yourself if you follow through on the promises that you make to yourself. So if you say, I want to quit smoking, if you do that, then you can trust yourself, right? So you can have self-confidence. If you say, I want to work on my dreams, and every day you do that, then you can trust yourself. And self-confidence comes from that. The moment we outsource, something is actually wrong. Because I think it's Jung that said, man would do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing his own soul. And then I read this on the internet the other day. I don't know who said it. I do apologize. Somebody said that trying to fix another is an active abandonment of self. Because we want to change the people in our lives so that we can feel comfortable. But our work is to change ourselves. And as we change ourselves, we will resonate out of certain circumstances because it just would not be in alignment with self-love to stay there, right? And because we have self-love and self-responsibility, radical self-responsibility, and we're looking at our own lives and our own dreams, we won't be as scared because we're not building our houses in somebody else. This is the thing with boundaries. If anyone makes you feel guilty about a boundary, that is a red flag. That is a massive, massive red flag. And society has told us that to have boundaries is selfish. Now, I'm not saying never help people, right? I'm not saying only think about yourself. But I am saying that if you don't give to yourself first, right? If you don't care for yourself first, then you can't pour out of an empty cup. If you also look at the golden rule, so most of you who are Christians will know, love your God, love yourself as you love your neighbor, right? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. This is the golden rule. So love existence, love the universe, love your neighbor, and love yourself. But we always forget the love yourself part, right? So how do you cultivate pure authenticity? Go to the places that scare you. Say the things that you think you shouldn't, right? Not in a mean way. Obviously, we need to check ourselves. But be yourself and see who moves away and who moves closer. Because your vibe attracts your tribe. And if your vibe is high, your vibe can only be high if you love yourself, right? If you know that it's okay to be unique. And if you can give other people the okay to be unique. Stop trying to change other people. That is hopeless. It's hopeless. As long as you think the problem is out there, it's hopeless to fix it. This is what Byron Katie said. But the moment you realize that it's something in you, then you can fix it. So instead of saying this and this person should change because they're hurting me, say I should change because I'm hurting me by staying with this person, right? My responsibility. I'm doing this to myself. I'm hurting myself by being with that other person. And I know, especially when it comes to jobs and money, this is easier said than done, right? And that is when you then have to work the long game. Obviously, we have to have tact, right? But the more authentic we can become, the more self-loving we can become, the more our very being is a boundary. right? A beautiful frequency through which lower energy cannot even break, and then, it's much easier to also have boundaries because you don't feel guilty to say no, or to say, give me a moment, I'll get back to you. And how do you know it's a no? Follow your gut. Your gut will tell you. If it's confusing and it's and you don't know, then it's a no. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I hope this helps. It's just my opinion on boundaries.